that tiny pause before you tap your bank card, that split second where you do the maths in your head. Can I afford this? Ordinary things that no longer feel ordinary. They feel like hesitation. They feel like anxiety. That moment, there's something deeper than calculation. Why do I feel this pressure every single day? And when that feeling is shared by thousands of workers, it stops being an individual problem, it becomes a national problem. And that's why we are here, because we believe in a better deal, a better Ireland, built by workers, built by us.
Our democracy is central to who we are. We have 3 days now to collectively set the direction Fórsa will take over the next 2 years. This is important work, and I commend you for being here.
And I do consider it an honour as Taoiseach to have the opportunity to address your biannual conference. It's also a recognition of the very significant positive role that Fórsa plays in the nation's life.
In our local branch, I'd say definitely hybrid working is a key issue. It's spoken about all the time in the office, and when it's spoken about in the office, we like to bring it up nationally if we can.
Let me begin by sincerely thanking the 19,000 Fórsa members who gave their time to answer the survey questionnaire. In fact, 3/4 of you tell us it's one of the most important issues for you outside of pay.
You're in this room because you're leaders in your workplaces, and your capacity and ability to organise the people in your workplace and your branch's capacity and ability to do that will be the difference between our policies on remote work and theirs. It's really as simple as that.
The idea of flexibility, just more generally allowing people based on their circumstances to be able to have these extra options, it helps society, I think, more generally as a whole.
And our experience from across Europe and across the world teaches us that commercialization of public services brings lower quality. It often leads to precarious jobs, lower pay and lower pensions.
When I joined the civil service, my rent was €300 a month. And when I left Dublin last year, my rent was €1,500 a month. And that's less than 10 years.
You know, we just got an eviction notice, and that's not an uncommon thing for people of my generation here in Ireland. And, you know, I think, you know, as we've said, like, you know, eviction rates are matching those that we saw in the famine. You know, things in this country have to change. And I think, you know, the fact that we want a better deal in Fórsa is such a good way to start that.
We live in a society of people, of neighbours, of families. The common good is not just about what we have, it's about creating the conditions that allow us to have a good life.
We can't talk about wages for public service workers without talking about quality public services for the community.
Sometimes you have to be led by our principles, and we join the call to enact the Occupied Territories Bill.
Our recipient for the Honorary Lifetime Achievement Award is Vinnie Savage from the local government.
The most important thing about building power is that we're strong internally. That means growing our numbers, growing our membership, growing our participation. There's also a bit about building power, which is about external alliances.
Feels like a real honour to be here, especially as part of what is probably a smaller branch in the grand scheme of things. It's been really nice to network with people and kind of meet others that are in the same situation and see that, I suppose, no matter what your day-to-day looks like, that we all kind of have the same issues and we all want to move in the same direction. So I spoke on motion 111. It pertains to solidarity with our trans and gender non-binary friends and colleagues. As a member of the LGBT community myself, it is something that's extremely important to me, and it's great to see it on the trade union agenda across the board. It's something that we need to continue to push. Trade unions have always stood with people facing discrimination, whether in the workplace, in housing, in healthcare, or in public life. Supporting trans and non-binary people is not a distraction from trade union values. In fact, it is a continuation of them.
There's a great energy, a real buzz, I think, especially with the Better Deal campaign going on this year. I think everyone was just really enthusiastic, energetic. Yeah, it's been great. So I proposed a motion on paid leave for fertility treatments and reproductive health care. For many people, the journey to parenthood is not straightforward. Fertility treatment is physically exhausting, emotionally draining, financially stressful, and all-consuming. It's rarely, if ever, a one-off appointment. There's scans, blood tests, consultations, procedures, and the emotional toll that comes with every stage of this. Yet many workers are expected to fit this in and around work, often using up sick leave, annual leave, even taking unpaid days.
I brought a motion looking at the Work-Life Balance Act and increasing the number of days available under this Act from 5 days to 10 days, and to ensure that these are paid days. I have a colleague who has a 94-year-old mother living on her own in Letterkenny. This lady has macular degeneration and needs to attend regular appointments in Sligo General Hospital, which leads to my colleague having to take annual leave.
Pressure people feel today does not begin at work, and it certainly does not end there. I'm not interested in being part of a process that delivers too little for working people, but I am very interested in building a better Ireland. And I believe in a better deal. And the truth is, we are stronger than we have ever been. Our membership continues to grow. I am delighted to tell you today. We are crossing a new milestone. We are now a union of 100,000 workers. And delegates, when 100,000 workers speak, Ireland has no option but to listen. That is not just growth, that is power.